Hey, it's a bit of an impromptu video. I've been sorting out my Xbox 360 collection, gradually whittling it down to the absolute must-keeps, must-plays, and all the rest of it. Vimto's on. Wow. And then it suddenly dawned on me, I thought, it's getting on a bit, this console, isn't it? And then I look it up, and it turns out it's 20 years old towards the end of this year. I think the official UK date is something like the 2nd of December. Maybe right, maybe wrong, don't matter. Around November, December, across the world, the epic Xbox 360 was released. Now, I've got a big love for the console, an absolute big love for the console. It's one of the better consoles over the years. Love it because it's Xbox, happy days. Although a lot can be said for Xbox nowadays. But the actual console itself, the Xbox 360, there's a big place in my heart for it. Many titles on the Xbox 360 I've absolutely loved. Coming from the OG, upgrading to the Xbox 360, and wow. So many great franchises started on the 360 and have gone on to be sort of the best of the genre. So yeah, I mean, I when I first got my 360, it was an original white version. I think it was what they called like the premium white, the basically the chunky console with a bit on the end. And I got that, and I thought, wow, this is it. Next gen gaming meant a thing back then, before it was actually a thing. HD graphics and all that. And I hooked up my Xbox 360 to me big 32-inch big back Philips telly with the all silver. Everyone had them 20 odd years ago, 25 years ago or so. And yeah, plugging it into that, and I just was amazed. It was so cool, and I love the controller. The controller is epic, absolutely brilliant. In terms of consoles now, I've only got a Gears of War 3 edition and the Star Wars edition, which I've just recently put that in H's bedroom because he's getting into his skate games like Tony Hawk's and Skate and blah blah blah, and some Star Wars games as well. And he's had a great run of games on the 360, so he's nabbed that for his game, for his bedroom, and I've got the Gears of War one set up in the mini arcade. And even to this day, I've been playing through games and absolutely loving my time spent with it, and still discovering games that I've bought over the years and not actually played, and I'm just discovering them now. And I've only got a humble collection of about, I think I've whittled it down to about 200 now. I did have over 500 games way back, like 10 years ago. I had over 500 games, but I have downsized my collection somewhat big style. So yeah, so many great memories with a 360, and big happy birthday to it. Wow. Starting off with games, I've pulled a few games out just of note. Really, it's basically just for me to reminisce. It's an off-the-cuff video that just I thought, while I'm chucking all that, because basically what I've done, I've got the Gears of War console set up in my arcade, and now I've put all of the games, all of the discs in CD wallets, and got them there ready to play. So all the cases, all the boxes are up in the loft here for me to display in my museum. But at least I'm getting in amongst the discs and I'm playing the bloody games, and I'm having great fun, really am. So one of the earliest games, or two games that I remember, and I was big into this towards the end of the OG life, the OG Xbox life. I was really into Tom Clancy games. And so that was a big reasoning for me to upgrade to the Xbox 360. And these two games were just, wow. The the graphics, everything about it was just a real big step up, and you could see why you were paying your money out for an upgrade console. Unlike nowadays, where you'd really struggle to notice the difference between one generation to another. But the Xbox 360, it was a step up, and these games are absolutely tip top. Sorry about the glare, but absolutely amazing. I mean, going back now, they still hold up. Yes, the graphics are a bit sort of cloudy, and the playability is not quite what it was, but for the time, bearing in mind these are best part of 20 years old. Wow, absolutely brilliant. And I then sort of gravitated towards racing games, and I love me Project Gotham 1 and 2 on the OG. And then when I got this, I was playing this, and it was really, really good. But it was about this time that I got this that I upgraded my TV, and I, for the first time ever, went to a flat screen telly, and that just blew my mind. I really just connecting it up via HDMI. It just gave great depth to games. Whereas games always looked like car games, when you've got the car in front of you, you always kind of get that, or you used to always get that feeling like it was an old Mega Drive Master System game of like the car is stationary and it's just doing that against a rolling flat screen, and it's very sort of 2D, although it was still 3D. But this game came along, and with HDMI support on a flat screen telly, I think it was about 30, I was going to say 39, but I think it was a 40 inch Samsung telly, HDMI connection. This game was amazing. I found myself driving along, and with your left wiggle stick, with your left wiggle stick, you could pan around the car, and you could see down the streets, like in the town centres where you were racing. I can't remember where it was bloody set, but I think it was all across the globe. But you could drive along and be zooming along, and like look down, and you could see down the streets, and it was just like, wow. So the times I'd be driving along, and I'd just pan around looking around. It was like you were on a real racetrack. And for me, that was one of the first times that I actually felt like, wow, this is how racing games should have been. Project Gotham Racing, and I was absolutely addicted to trying to get all of the medals. And you'd get your bronze, your gold, your silver, and then your platinum was double hard. But you'd have to go through them each time. And there was, I can't remember how many there were. I've got a feeling there was sort of, would it have been 20 or 40 challenges? And that could have been anything from getting a certain amount of kudos, doing your tricks, or coming first in a race. And the quicker or the better you would do, the more you would get your better medal. And that was such a challenge to get all of them, but I finally did it. And yeah, and this was the first console where achievements was a thing. And I must admit, way back, I was absolutely addicted. Really was. I remember getting something like about 25,000 gamer score, which for me, being pretty crap at games, is a hell of a lot. I've since got a different profile because I've had different Xboxes and whatnot. Gonna sneeze. I've had a different profile since, and I think I've only got about 20,000 gamer score now on the Series X that I got. So real fond standout moments with gaming. And as I say, I never signed up to sort of online gaming or Game Pass and whatnot, but many years ago I used to go around friends, and Janet and John, and they used to have their garage was converted into sort of a kind of like a games room, and it was where everyone sort of congregated go out on a night out and then go back to Jan and John's, and they generally, John was absolutely fixated on anything Call of Duty. So everyone used to, and he, at the time it was huge. It was like a 50 odd inch telly, and you were sat no more than about a metre away from it, and so it was like real life. You were there, and playing Call of Duty online, and it's something I'd never experienced. But Call of Duty Modern Warfare, playing that online. This is a special edition box set thing, but this game was just absolutely immense, absolutely brilliant. And just, I mean, they used to take the mickey out of me because I was always camping, always hiding out, but I weren't that great at it. I loved the single player campaigns. For me, it's all about single player campaigns. But playing online, that was just, I must admit, I really took to it. I really liked it. And but obviously you go up against people that are playing it day in, day out, night and day. They live to play it, and just getting my ass handed to me so much. But the great times had, and then the banter in the room, like people taking the mick. So yeah, great fun times of Call of Duty. Oh, getting a wiggle on. Now for me, in terms of single player, there was a lot of franchises that started and finished on the 360, but there was one series of games, and there was a couple on the OG, and having loved the OG games, it was a definite must get. Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway, and this game was absolutely epic. The graphics, the story to it, really good. If you're into your Call of Duties and your Battlefields and that sort of thing, give this a try. Honestly, it's a real good game. I haven't played it in years, but it is definitely one I'm going to go back to. And now I've got me set up all ready to roll. I really can't wait, because I did love this so much. Honestly, real cracker. And then with regards to the Xbox 360, like I say, I started off with the original sort of big white version where you could take your hard drive off the top, and they had face plates on it, and yeah, really cool. But quite early on in the life of Xbox 360, I mean, I was playing it an awful lot. Hands down, I was just playing it all the time. Absolutely loved it. I downloaded loads and loads of music tracks, CDs. I think I had something like about 4,000 songs on the system, and I used to play games and have my music playing in the background, because that was something you could do, and really enjoyed that. But this game I used to play absolutely all the time, Colin McRae, and it was all about getting the achievements, which I think I'm right in saying this is the only game I've ever 100% achievement score. I've got me 1,000 points on this, and it was playing this through again and again and again, and this ultimately led to the death of my Xbox 360. Now, because it was under warranty still, and I bought it from GameStation. I remember GameStation. What a place. I bought it from GameStation in Colchester. And so because of that, there was this big thing. It was all publicly known that, you know, basically your console got an extra year or two warranty on it, and Microsoft would look after you and get it sorted. And this was real in the early days, and I was absolutely gutted. How I didn't put my foot through the Xbox, I do not know. But I boxed it all up, took it back to GameStation one day, and I had a chat with the guys there, and they were very much quick to sort of fob me off with well, we can have it sent back to Microsoft and we'll get it sorted out. And I'm like, well, that don't help me. I've spent hundreds of pounds on games that are just sitting there. I give you the money. I bought the console from you. It's deemed faulty. We all know it is. Plug it in, test it. I bought it from you. You're going to sort me out. So after a bit of a saga, they decided that they would give me a replacement. which was very, very nice. Now, in chatting, because I was there growling a little bit for a little while, in chatting with them, it had become apparent that Xbox were releasing a new console, and it was only going to be a couple of weeks' time, and it was going to be the Elite version, and these problems of the red ring of death were going to be sort of sorted. It wasn't going to be an issue with the new console. So, me being me, I thought, well, I'll tell you what, because they initially sort of said, well, if you keep hold of that, and I'm like, no. You give me a credit note or my money back, and I'll come in when the new system's out. I'll come in, buy the new system, happy days. And they did. So, right result. So, leading up to that, I got the new system out, and yeah, and then back, all systems go, back to loving Xbox 360. But in that meantime, where I didn't have a console, that's the reason, bloody Xbox 360, is the reason I started retro collecting. Because that first weekend after I took that console back, I went to a boot sale. And as I'm wandering around the boot sale, I managed to find a PS1, little PS1 Slim, and a bag of games, and I think I paid 20 quid for the lot. And in there was Gran Turismo, Crash Bandicoots, all the real popular titles that we'd all played, Die Hard Trilogy, just an absolute bag of tricks, really was, and all for 20 rubs. And I come away, and I for them 2 weeks, I was blasting that PlayStation. And that's what ultimately led to me going, oh, right, wouldn't it be cool if I had this? And got in the Mega Drive and stuff I had as a kid, and N64, and then just spiralled out of control from there. But so it's the Xbox 360's fault. Now, on the days leading up to the Xbox 360 Elite release, the black, smooth black beast, there was talk going around at a game station of different bundles they were going to do and offer. Now this game, it was a no-brainer for me. I can't remember what the exact values were, but it was something like, if you add 30 quid on top, you can get a game with it, a choice of 5 games. Now, in amongst those games was a game I'd not heard of, I'd not really seen, I didn't know much about. But it was the offer was any version of that game. So I realised they were releasing a special edition. And I think for this one, it was like a 40 quid upcharge. I thought, I'm having a bit of that. Now, this game, I managed to get with the Elite console. And as I say, I think it was a 40 quid upcharge. And it's BioShock. And it's the special edition. This is the original one that I got way back when, bit battered about now. But it's got the model of the Big Daddy in, really nice piece. But it's the game. When I fired up that game, and I mean, it was like nothing else. The story was so immersive, and the atmosphere, just really drink it all in. It was absolutely brilliant. And it was a type of game I'd never experienced before. And looking back, the graphics still stand up today, but the fire effects on the water, and then the underwater level, and the noises, the sound, everything about it, the playability is even brilliant nowadays. And it just shows you, because it's been sort of remastered and brought out again, but it stands up. And the first game is absolutely brilliant. Really pleased I got the big box set. But once again, so many great games played for the first time on 360. I did get quite early on Gears of War, and I liked Gears of War. Must admit, I've never completed, even to this day, never completed Gears of War 1 or 2. Played them through, got so far, and then, you know, it gets a bit difficult for me, not being the best of games player, so I blew it out. And then, obviously, a few years down the line, played Gears of War 3, and I absolutely took to that. Yes, I've completed that one. But I really got on well with the story of that. That really opened it up for me. That got me right into the Gears of War franchise. And then 4, 5, absolutely loved them. But Gears of War 3 was my starting point. And it's a little bit like with the OG Xbox. I was banging to Halo 1 and Halo 2. And really liked it. Didn't play the multiplayer, just dicked around playing the single player campaigns and really enjoyed them. But when getting that Halo 3, wow, that just, again, the atmosphere, the what they managed to achieve with the console and the capabilities, so much immersion. And when that title music just fired up with the oh, and just it, absolutely brilliant. And the weapons that you had in that, and what a great campaign. So Halo 3 kind of sparked my interest with it all, and I've played every one since. The only one I haven't really got on well with was the last one, the Infinite game, because there's, as much as that's a bit more open worldy, it kind of lent itself to being a bit more linear, because you're not just wandering around trying to figure out what the bloody hell to do. Being on a slightly more linear pathway, you were following the story as such, rather than just going about dicking about. So, but yeah, Halo. I've got Halo 3 with the big helmet, the big special edition. I was trying for years to buy that off Roy at Melodies, a local Aladdin's Cave second-hand shop. I was trying for years to buy his one, and he wouldn't bloody sell it to me. But then Ali posted one up, and it's got the sealed sort of contents inside and the helmet, and I can't remember what it was. I've got a feeling it was about 120 quid, something like that, and I couldn't pay him the money quick enough. I was straight down there that weekend, nab it off him, and so pleased with it. Such a nice piece in my collection. It's tucked out the way a little bit now, but as you can tell, I'm stacked up with toot everywhere this side of the loft. It's kind of why I haven't really got a 360 display. I've just got a couple of units with loads of games in and box sets in. Once I do expand across in the loft, I can then, expand it out and have Xbox over that side. And the plan is to have PlayStation and Switch that side, Xbox 360 and Xbox One that side. That's the plan, maybe one day. So once again, so many great franchises continued or started on the 360, and I will always bang on about these two bloody games. The third one on the Xbox One is brilliant. I love it, but for me, absolute cracker. Crackdown, open world, sandbox game, go anywhere, do anything, and it's cel-shaded graphics, so the graphics stand up even today. Really cool game. Playability is so cool. It's easy to get into, but when you really start collecting those orbs and building up your player stats, if you like, and your abilities, wow, absolutely brilliant game. Real expansive map. Followed up with Crackdown 2. This is a steel tin edition. I've got the standard edition and a steel tin edition because that's what us collectors do. But great game. That, because of the kind of where they brought into the mixed, like the infected, the zombies, and it is a lot tougher, that game, I think, than the original. I still prefer the original. For me, it's I like the first one the best, then the third one, then the second one. But a great series of games. System sellers, really are. And another great game. And I don't think I ever got to what they would say is complete it, but I really, really enjoyed it. And the fact they had to put a disclaimer on this, that it's nothing to do with George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, just shows you how close they got to it. Absolutely epic. Real great game. Dead Rising. I think there's been 4 or 5 games in the series. All really good, but for me it's about where it all started. really cool. Really pushed the 360. So many sort of non-playable characters on screen at once. You're mashing them up, mowing them down, chopping them up, and all the rest of it. Real cool game. And then we move on to this, and I really loved the original Xbox Forza. And then this bad boy come along, and for me, this blew Gran Turismo out the water. Really did. From then on, it was all about Forza for me. I know everyone, like, they're either in the Forza or Gran Turismo camp. Yes, Gran Turismo for me was great for Gran Turismo 1, 2, 3, and 4 it started to lose its way because it's very much diluted down for number 4. It just seemed, I don't know, it just weren't there. The excitement wasn't there. Whereas this, it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Really pushed the system. Christ knows how many cars there were. It don't say, but just amazing. Oh yeah, over 300 of your favourite cars. 300 cars. It just expanded on the original in every single way, and it's kind of a showcase at how you take the original subject, the original IP, and you just expand on it and smash it out of the park in every single way. Forza 2, and I've got Forza 3 and 4, the big box sets, and they're lovely pieces to have. I can't remember, I think it's an art book and something that comes with this. Probably going to drop it all out. Yeah, it's a big art book. Really nice, genuine fake carbon fibre cover. So yeah, awesome game. And then that paved its way for another game that, I'll be honest, when I first played this, I started playing it and I felt it was a bit too arcadey. And I remember it now. I got playing it, did a few races, built my way up to getting a Supra, which I painted in like a lime green to a yellow tinted, like luminous colour Supra, maxed it out and made it so maxed out it was almost undrivable. And that was all I did with that. I soon lost my way with it and didn't bother. A few years down the line, number 2 came out, and I started playing number 2, and I chilled out and just relaxed and played it bit by bit. And wow, it's a game changer. And the series has gone on to be, in my opinion, the best racing games bar none, honestly. And this one started off life as Forza Horizon. Now, way back, and playing this back now, there are limits. You can't go off-roading. Your tracks are your tracks still. You've got sort of barriers around roads. It's not like you can go mad off-roading and just drive anywhere like you can in Horizon 3, 4 and 5. This was very much more linear, but what they still managed to achieve with the capabilities is absolutely mind-blowing. The cars still look bloody good today, but it's just the whole customization, racing in the open streets with traffic, having your races, building your cars up, just brilliant, absolutely epic. And if I'm going to play a racing game, or if I fancy a bit of time out, a little go on the Series X, generally I gravitate to Forza all the time. Forza Motorsport, got to be done. So that's just a few games that I thought I'd highlight that have on my collection and playing and my time with the 360. Just of late, I've started to get into the James Bond games. I watched all the Craig David James Bond films, and that got me like fruity for a bit of actually playing as James Bond. So I've been playing through 007 Legends. I think I did a video on a little bit of it, but I've been playing that more. It's by Activision, so it is very much kind of like a cross between a Call of Duty and a traditional Bond game, but it's most enjoyable, and the graphics are really good. Still holds up today. It's a nice bit of action rather than too much sort of puzzling and stealth. It's a great game. and I've also got Quantum of Solace and Bloodstone, but I haven't given them a go yet. I'm still working my way through 007 Legends. So I'm having great fun. I've whittled down the collection, fine-tuned it. There are some games that I'm missing from my collection now. Notably, the first main one is Castlevania 2. I need to get that because I've got the first Castlevania. But there's quite a few games that I do need to add just to, you know, make it a bit more complete, if you like. An extra moment needs to go out for that controller. The amount of batteries I must have done over the years on an Xbox 360 controller. Oh. And the systems themselves. Xbox have really sort of outdone themselves. And I think they've struggled to sort of do special edition consoles or special edition controllers as well as that era. And what a great time. So many cool additions. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And great times had. So do yourself a favour. If you haven't got one, which I presume you have got a 360, but if you haven't got one, get one. They're still reasonably cheap, and you can get most of the library of Xbox 360 games for next to nothing. Yes, there's games that are creeping up in value. I've been quite surprised. I'm looking through a few of my games, and I just thought, do I want to keep it? Do I want to get rid of it? And I've seen some bizarre games, like Superman. That goes for about 10 quid. Onichanibara, Bikini Samurai Girls or something it's called. That's about a 30 odd quid game. You just think, wow, quite surprising. I haven't followed the prices of the games, and I haven't done it for that. It's just a certain few games I've sort of, shall I get rid of it? Shall I keep it? And so I've gone on the old CEX app, as you do, and thought, well, what can I get for it? Is it worth getting rid of? And in all honesty, where they've been games that have been worth a fair bit, rather than weigh them in, I thought, well, what I'll do is I will dedicate some time, play them first, make sure. As I say, I've discovered quite a few games that I've really got into. And one recently was, Battleship. It's a it's not just about battleships, but it's a bit like a Call of Duty. You're doing everything, and that's a really good game on the 360. And but yeah, there's so many, too many to mention. So get in amongst it. Happy birthday to the Xbox 360, and thank you Xbox for giving me years of entertainment. Yeah, loved it. Absolutely brilliant. The times, the hours I've spent playing this game, if nothing else. And H even enjoys this, even to this day. Likes a bit of Crackdown. You can just play it for 10 minutes, create havoc, see how many cars you can blow up in at one junction, and yeah, have great fun. So yeah, real cool game. Epic stuff. Anyway, right, I'll leave it there. I'm going to get back to putting these bits away and then crack on. Have a great day. Happy birthday, Xbox 360. Thanks for making me feel old, or older.